weekend was really tense, and we are going to be talking about that as far as the morning show is concerned. There is a lot on the table. We are also going to have a musical, performance. There's a lot on the table that we can't just let everything out of the bag. That is why it's a mystery that we need to unravel, and also it is a beautiful package that has been seasoned for your entertainment. And yes, we are about going now to make sure that this seasoned entertainment brings you not just entertainment but also lots of information that is quite interesting and beneficial to your environment. And yes, yesterday I told some people, I said, since we couldn't, and is dealing with us, since we couldn't have the show, some people gave some shout outs, and I was like, okay, I'm going to greet you this morning. So I'm greeting Joan all the way from Limbe, I'm greeting Paul all the way from US, I am greeting Queen Mother all the way from Wonganga. So we are about beginning the show, and yes, if you want us to also greet you, you can send us a hello. The number is right there on your screen. Just send us a hello or good morning. Just tell us something and tell us where you are watching us from this morning. Let us grace your morning with greetings. We go take on this musical break, and when we come back, it's going to be a beautiful ride.
Yeah, no, thank you very much.
You don't buy motor, course. You don't buy motor.
This is another DJ.
Give me the mic, yo. Yeah. Hey. Mon ami, dans la vie, les choses sont très compliquées. Je vais vous raconter une histoire de Paolo. Paolo a gagné sa vie, il donne pas moto. Et tous les jours dans les boîtes, et il n'écoute pas les conseils de sa maman. Paolo changeait les petits amis comme les cabangondo. Et son entourage était là, j'ai just a follow, Paolo aimait de la ville, mais il a aussi oublié que le soleil ne brillera pas pour toujours. Il a quitté sa responsabilité. Toute la famille l'a supplié, mais il était occupé à s'amuser. But now the pepper don't red, I just talk am the way it is. L'argent don't finish for banco. L'argent don't finish for banco. L'argent don't bole for handy. L'argent don't bole for handy. Et quand l'argent est là, tes amis sont là. L'argent est là, les amis sont là. See when money no dey, your friend go.
Sois généreux n'importe comment, mais que l'argent ne finisse pas haut. Sois généreux comme Samuel et Joe, et que l'argent ne finisse pas haut. Si tu veux, deviens même Papa Noël, mais n'oublie pas les cadeaux des enfants. Si tu veux, deviens même Papa Noël, mais n'oublie pas les cadeaux des enfants. Sinon les enfants vont te fuir, comme les femmes et les amis. Papa Noël est venu, il a oublié les cadeaux.
Mais il a aussi oublié.
Il est venu, il a oublié les cadeaux des enfants.
Il a quitté sa responsabilité. Toute la famille l'a supplié, mais il était occupé à s'amuser. But now with the pepper don't red, I just talk am the way it is. L'argent don't finish for banco. L'argent don't finish for banco. L'argent don't bole for handy. L'argent don't bole for handy. Et quand l'argent est là, tes amis sont là. L'argent est là, les amis sont là. See when money no dey, your friend go.
Tonton Kossi.
Yes, Papa Longue. Talk me here.
Now who be a friend? Your friend that man when you go to champagne with you. That will get problem, you know the see. Now who be a friend? Now who be a friend? Now who?
Yeah, EJ Kaka KJ, EJ Kaka KJ, EJ Kaka KJ. They don't go stand by you, why you, Kaka, why you, Kaka, why you, Kaka, why you. If you don't feel me, that sing a make a yeah. L'argent don't finish for banco, l'argent don't finish for haro, l'argent don't bole for hande. Le calage est là, tes amis sont là. Si we money no day, your friend go go. When money no day, when money no day, when money no day, If you don't feel me, sing a lot of no. When money no day, your friend go go.
K Mr. K Mix.
DJ Chris, you feel me now?
Amazing wonder by our own. We call him the serial music maker, or should I say the serial singer, or the serial hit maker, whatever the case may be. It's Kosi, and someone, I feel like this guy is really not, out there, but I must say his footprints are going far, and that is to tell you that sometimes people who are not really out there, they are making a big time as far as the world of entertainment is concerned. And I'm talking about Richard, that has decided to remove all the chickens in our compound. Okay, so back to us in the studio. Yes, we are still right here making sure that we remove all the of the obstacles that can take your entertainment away from you today, because it's the end of the month, and we want to make sure that your month ends well and it ends with lots of information and lots of entertainment this morning. So we are going to begin first with our first lot of the day, and we already know that is did you know. So on our did you know page, you get to find interesting facts, and not just about interesting facts, some of them can be very funny and also interesting. How it's going to go, it's what we are about finding out right now. So we are beginning with our first lot of the day, did you know. And on the first aspect of did you know this morning, I find this really, I'm like, are these guys actually telling me the truth? Like, are we on this one? Is it for real? So this guys are telling me this morning on our did you know page that ice will form faster when hot water is used as opposed to cold water. Are we did you get that? Because I got it. So sometimes when you're saying something, you need to listen to yourself. Like if somebody, let's say if you're talking to a public, somebody would be like, is she even listening to what she's saying, like I'm doing right now? So I heard what I said. So I'm going to say it again so that you too can also get what I said. So this morning on our first page of did you know this morning, we are asking that did you know that ice will form faster when hot water is used as opposed to cold water? Are we serious? I know that when you remove what, like if you want to ice water, you put there's this there's this different compositions in the fridge. There's this one that you just remove and then drop water inside. It has this small like positions. You drop water and then you put it there. So by the time you come, maybe 1 hour later, you go and check to realize that it's ice. So what are these guys talking about? I know somebody wants to actually try that, but you can just try and find out for yourself. Okay, so we move over to the next on our did you know page this morning. So did you know that when the moon is directly overhead, you will weigh slightly less? So did you know that when the moon is directly overhead, you weigh slightly less? Does it mean that we should check where the moon is before we check our weight? Just imagine that. Okay, let's say you'll be feeling like, oh, I've lost some weight, things are not really going well, I feel like my weight has reduced and so on, and then somebody is telling you that when the moon is directly overhead, you are slightly going to weigh less. Like seriously? Okay, so maybe we should be checking for the position of the moon, or we should check for its we should just check before we take our weight. Maybe you're supposed to weigh, let's say you're supposed to weigh 50, and then all of a sudden you're weighing 45 because the moon is directly overhead. That is what our did you know is telling us this morning. How true is that? You want to find out for yourself? Interesting facts. Okay, we move over to the next, and this time around, I think it's not really like a did you know, but to me, I'll take it as a motivation, and I'll also take it as something that we should put on our daily, activities. One thing I find very, very interesting is the fact that people get to, pass over certain difficult moments. For example, I use that as a self booster. I use that as a motivation. I use that for creativity as well. So if I am going through a difficult time, and or if I feel like I'm being difficult, or things are not really going on well for me at the moment, and I'm close to persons who are giving their own side of the story, like people who are also expressing themselves, how they have been going through in life and all of that. So what happens is I'm very keen to listen. I am very keen to listen, and what happens is I pick up certain things from there, and then I ask myself, sometimes when you are in a gathering and you're explaining yourself to people, you feel like you're the person that has gone through the worst things in life, and then when somebody starts explaining their own, you're like, okay, just calm down. You're just like, sometimes I'm like, Rita, calm down. When people are talking, when they have gone through things in life, some of us to just sit quiet, because that's it's always like that. You feel like, no, this thing, I went through this, I went through pain, I was maltreated, I was ill-treated, I was this, I was that, they backstabbed me, blah 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 blah, and then you're feeling like, because of that thing that had happened, or because of what somebody had done to you, you're feeling like you're going to pay back, or you're going to change for the worse. And then I ask myself one question: have you listened to some people? Now somebody would say, that person's, it's their own experience, so it's not for you to compare. But my dear, sometimes it's for you to compare. Like seriously, if you have gone through a difficult time in life and then you're listening to somebody, imagine that you're complaining that, when I was a baby, I fell and sprained my finger. Oh, the way they pain, they pain it, the way I sprained down my finger. Sometimes like that, I just see like that the finger, and then somebody fell and break the leg and they cut off the leg. So sometimes you just like, you are complaining of your finger, that the finger that you sprained, and then another person develop spin there. Another person is maybe you're looking, another person does not even have a leg, or maybe that same finger that you're complaining about, another person does not even have a hand, like they had to chop off the person, they had to amputate the person's hand. So it's all about you realizing that, yes, in as much as we're going through difficult moments in life, there are people who have gone through worse of that, and they haven't changed the world, or they haven't changed how they treat people. But anyways, that was an aside, and this brings me to what I want to talk about. So it's a fun fact and also quite interesting. So it says Isaac Newton discovered calculus while in quarantine. So this is, and you realize why I started saying that. So somebody would say, I can't do this, I can't do that because I was feeling bad, or this happened to me, blah blah blah. And there are others who were in that same position and they were making good out of it. So while others were in quarantine, some were losing money, some used all the money they had, some lost their businesses, others were there creating businesses for themselves and making sure that they can make a living out of it, or creating new opportunities. Yes. And also the second one says William Shakespeare wrote King Lear while in quarantine. So what can you not do while in that cage of yours? Remove yourself from it. There's no time to waste. Somebody hurt you, or you got kicked out of your job, or you lost an opportunity. Don't waste time. Look for the next available opportunity and dive into it. Why wallow in tears? Why wallow in pain? Why wallow in worry, when at the end of the day you might still end up living that praise? Or you might, it's just like you killing yourself over something. You might be replaced at any point in time. So there is no time to waste. Martin Luther was in quarantine. I mean, William Shakespeare was in quarantine, and he still wrote a book, and that book today is selling. I mean, it should be one of the highest sales book out there, and now he was in quarantine, right? Okay, so we have the next one. This person says, I'm still helping real estate clients while in quarantine. Okay, so this is a fun fact from Let's Chat, and it's not really on Did You Know, but this was just an aside to make sure that we get to find out some things. Like, it's kind of a motivation. Don't hold back on certain things in life because you feel like at that position where you are in, there's no way you can make good out of it. You can make good out of it, and you can make real good out of it. Depends how you see it. It depends how you hold it and how you put it out there. Okay, so on to our last on Did You Know this morning. So did you know that the word 21 characters has 21 characters? So can we count? Should we count? Yeah, so did you know the word 21 characters has 21 characters? Now there's four is the only word which has letters equal to its value. Did you know that 4 is the only word which has letters equal to its value? And if you forget this one, did you know the word 21 characters actually has 21 characters in it? And somebody is counting. Why are you counting? Okay, you just want to find out if it's true. Go ahead and do that. And that is it for our Did You Know page this morning. Like I said, we bring you interesting facts concerning life things out there. And today, I think my most interesting part is that we need to check where the moon is before we take our weight, so we don't end up weighing less or weighing more, whatever the case may be. Okay, so that was it for our Did You Know page this morning. I hope you gathered something, and I hope you found out something quite interesting. And we move over to our topic of discussion right away. And yes, talking about our topic of discussion, the weekend was fun. Saturday, to be precise, was, there was so much heat out there, pressure's up, temperature's up. You know how it goes when there's a match. Let's say Cameroon is playing a different country or a different team, and we are, us Cameroonians, you find people as if they want to enter inside the field, like they want to get into their TV screens and then kick the ball for the goalkeeper or for the players themselves. You find people doing this. So on Saturday, people were like, you understand? So that's what was happening on Saturday. I mean, places were crowded. It was like, history made. Like, history came to, like, I shouldn't say history, I should say it has gone down in history rather. And that's talking about the Gbamu Francis and Fury Tazon fight. Yes, that's to tell you that something amazing happened, and today we're going to be talking about it. After the fight, I got to a friend of mine. After the Gbamu and Fury fight, I got to a friend of mine, and I was like, we were just chatting, and I discovered that his mood automatically changed. The way he was replying, I said, what's the problem? What's happening to you? He was like, no, I'm not happy. It's like, hey, what's the problem? Is it just about the fight? Should I say that we take things to heart too much or not? I don't know how to put it, but today we are going to be talking about that particular fight. So our topic of discussion today says, and hey, before we let out the topic of discussion, just so you know, we are streaming live on our YouTube channel, so you can go there, just type Hi TV Cameroon, and you can watch the program live. If you're about leaving your house, you can watch the program on the confines of your office, the confines of maybe the taxi, wherever you are, even in the confines of your bathroom. Yeah, you can. That's to tell you that you can watch the program wherever you are, so long as you have your smartphone with you. Okay, so we are just bringing everything closer to you and still talking about our topic of discussion this morning. So we are asking, what can you say about the Gbamu Fury match? Was it a fair judgment? So let us know on your take. I know most people will say it was not, but please, can we have somebody positive? Nobody. Because I feel like after this, the lights are just going to go off. I want in your work, I'll just say, okay, that girl, we need to, she wants somebody to do what. Okay, so we are asking the question, what can you say about the Francis Gbamu match? Was it a fair judgment? Let us know. And if you're telling us it was not a fair judgment, give us a reason. Or if better still, just tell us what you think about it. So that was it, and that's what happened over the weekend. Like I said, some people were just if it was football, some people would be doing like this, but others were doing like this. So that is our topic of discussion this morning. And yes, you have the number right there on your screen to give us a text message, not a call. Send us a text message via normal SMS or WhatsApp SMS, and also you can drop a comment on our comment section on YouTube, on the YouTube channel High TV Cameroon. So you can watch live and make sure you send us a contribution or tell us where you are watching us from, just like the people we greeted us the other day. And I'm talking about Joan in Limbe, I'm talking about Paul, I'm talking about the Queen Mother, and all the others who have sent out their greetings to us this morning. If you can't contribute to our topic of discussion, just send us a hello, tell us where you are watching us from, but do well to tell us why you think that match wasn't a fair judgment, and do well to tell us how you feel about it. Okay, so that was it for our topic of discussion. Right now we are I am about going for a coffee break. Yes, it's very, very important. I know this is the breakfast show, but I need to calm my nerves. So when I come back, I give you full gist about how I witnessed the match and how it all went down in my own environment. So we are going to take on this musical break, and when we come back, we continue.
Oh, and greatness. I should love when them behave. I worship when they were fake. I don't play by the rules. Too many holes inside my shoes. Let me put me for bandit douche. Let me save me, I use cartouche. If you snooze, then you lose. No, they use me catch a cruise. When he block with me improvise. Now the vision you televise. Real ones them recognize. We'll be entered and colonized. If you hate things, change your format. My team and in combat. Turning water into wine. We making miracles. Only water in my head. It day for my head. All the things I did before I got done wash away. Big dreams there for my head. All the wishes I don't make. In my journey of life, I got to take the wheel. Zamutapi godia, Dang Allah Damakani. Zamutapi godia, godia. Zamutapi godia, Dang Allah Damakani. Zamutapi. All I want is my peace of mind for the night. Leave all that talking behind. I don't wanna fight. Truth be told, I'm nothing without your love. And I know this world is not my own. Only water in my head. It did for my head. All the things I did before I got done wash away. Big dreams there for my head. All the wishes I don't make. In my journey of life, I got to take the wheel. Zamutapi godia, Dang Allah Damakani. Zamutapi godia, godia. Zamutapi godia, Dang Allah Damakani. Zamutapi.
welcome back from that interesting one. And like I told you, when we get back, we are going to continue the program in high momentum. Yes, we have with us an amazing person here who has just warmed our couch this morning and is still warming the couch this morning. I'm talking about no other person than the rector of JSF Polytechnic, in the person of Mr. Ginger Marcellus. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome on board.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Welcome once more to the Gbamu set.
Yes, my pleasure to be here this morning.
It's amazing having you again because I know we have been through this over and over.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Right. It's always a pleasure to be here.
All right. Welcome. Okay, so quick, straight to the point. We're going to be talking about JSF Polytechnic this morning. And yes, there is a lot to talk about JSF Polytechnic, but talking about education, there are so many youths out there who are asking themselves, maybe I didn't go to school this year, so maybe next year what am I going to venture into, or what are some of the programs that are in the job market, postgraduate programs and all the like. So I don't know if you can throw more light on that to our viewers.
Yes, you've said even though you didn't go to school this year, you are thinking about next year. I just want to say that it's not yet late.
Okay.
Talking about postgraduate programs, most institutions, their postgraduate programs are just about taking off. The academic year is still just very fresh. So anybody considering going to school this year, is important that it's not yet very late. We know a few lectures must have taken place, but particularly postgraduate, most of them they are just beginning, so it's not yet late to take a decision. And if you take a decision and you want to come to JSF, we have a number of programs. We have MBA programs which runs for 2 years through the mentorship of the University of Buea. You can do an MBA with us in marketing, management and entrepreneurship. You can do an MBA in tourism and hospitality management. You can do an MBA in accounting and finance, and you can do an MTech. For now, we are among the few schools in the country offering an MTech in fashion, clothing and textile.
Okay.
Fashion, clothing and textile. You can do an MTech with us in food technology. Then interestingly, you can equally do an MSc with us in journalism and mass communication. We invite you to take advantage of that. I think we can always do a good deal with the journalists at High TV.
Okay.
To advance the frontiers of knowledge. So these are some of the postgraduate programs that we offer. We are saying that it's not yet late. And interestingly, we have some amazing scholarships, which we offer. It is coming in through one of the partners of the institution, through a foundation which we call Ginger Chrysanthus Foundation. He was an educationist. He spent all his time trying to support those who want to go to school, and we feel that one of the ways to remember such
great personalities
is to give Cameroonians the opportunity to study. So through the Ginger Chrysanthus Foundation, we can actually give some good discounts at the level of the postgraduate programs.
Okay, wow, that's amazing, at the level of the postgraduate programs. And someone listening to us right now might be wondering, talking about these postgraduate programs and the scholarships, is it strictly for students or those who intend to enroll into the programs? Who is open to these scholarships?
All Cameroonians are open to the scholarship as long as you express the desire to do a postgraduate program. You are open to benefiting from such a scholarship. The person that the scholarship, the foundation which is actually taking part of this burden, is named after a gentleman who was very open in educating Cameroonians, was very open in he spent all his life trying to ensure that Cameroonians benefit the latitude to go to school. So it's open to anybody who wants to pursue postgraduate studies.
Wow, amazing to know that. Okay, so talking about, I got interested in the B-Tech food, I think.
The MTech.
MTech food, rather.
MTech food technology, MTech fashion, clothing and textile.
Okay, these are fields that are out there right now. You find students leaving school, graduates leaving school rather, and finding themselves in one tailoring workshop or one let's say one eatery place, trying to learn how to mix this maggi and this salt to give this particular dish. So talking about these two programs, what are their practicalities? What makes it because it's a very practical course, so what are some of the things that have been put in place to make sure that it goes on as practical as possible?
Yes, we may interest you to know that we are among the most equipped institutions when it comes to those two domains. We have a well-equipped fashion lab which students actually do their practicals. We have a well-equipped food technology lab where students do their practicals, because some of these programs, they are really hands-on oriented. May interest you to know that some of the exams are actually written in the lab. You actually find, especially in the people in the fashion, clothing and textile department, there are some of their courses that they actually spend all the time in the lab. It is actually, if there's supervision, they supervise that in the lab. You sit on the machine. It is either you know how to do it, or you know that right from the beginning you have to fail the course. So it's quite interesting to see the children, because they actually migrate from the pattern drafting component right up to when they do the realization of a dress. I'm sure a dress like this one that you are wearing, that beautiful dress, within about some 1 hour to 2 hours, the students can sketch it and actually cut and put the pieces together, that it will look as beautiful as it is on your body.
Wow.
And they do that in the school now. It's not like they take you out there to go. Yes, so that's how interesting it is. So we are trying to make sure that we carve our niche in that domain. That's why we put in some good investment to make sure that the labs are in place.
Oh, that's quite amazing to know. I mean, to find out that instead of going to this going for a local certificate, why not get something that can fetch you, not just you have the skill and the certificate. There are so many people out there with the skill today, but they don't have the certificates, and the certificates are very, very important, because tomorrow you might find yourself in one big company and you're like, okay, I have the skill, but where is the certificate? Nowhere to be found. So it's really amazing to know that you can have both of these in one package. So before we move over to talk about the Golden Awards, what can you give as far as JSF Polytechnic is concerned? Last words for the postgraduate programs, or to our viewers and those who are, like you said, it's not too late. Last words for them.
Yes, before I go to the last word, I just want to say that about 2 months ago, I came across a secondary school teacher who is a teller.
Okay.
He teaches, he left ENS, he's a teacher, he's here, based here in Buea. And when the crisis started, what he did was he went somewhere and learned the act of sewing. You need to see the amazing things that he's doing. I patronize him myself. What we're trying to say is that people need to get into a situation where they can have multiple streams of income. The fact that you are actually a teacher, the fact that you are a businessman, the fact that you are an entrepreneur does not stop you from learning other skills. I was shocked to learn that the gentleman is a teacher and he keeps to his word. Before now we have always been known that technicians must sterilize, come today, come tomorrow.
By
in
tomorrow
fact, I gave
ready.
some dresses to him, and 3 days before the day that I was expected to collect it, he called me and explained a few things that he could not meet up, and then we took a new date. Before that date, he called me, and when he measured me, he took my measurements. I gave an advance. He said no, he wants to collect when my dress is ready. I need to see the finishing of the work, so it matches with his level of education. You see that it matches with his level of education. Instead of people thinking that okay, the fashion designing or whatever section is meant for some school dropout. No, it's not supposed to be like that.
True.
The fashion industry is the fastest growing in the world because of, you see, no matter what people do, people want to look good.
You always want to
people
look good.
want to look good. So,
even if somebody says they are broke,
yes,
but you find them appearing good.
That is it. So I'm just saying that it's important that people can actually learn that to be able to increase their income streams. Back to the last word on the postgraduate programs. There is something I always draw like this when each time I go to class to teach.
Okay.
You see, like something like a rectangle or a triangle.
Okay.
Right? You know the triangle,
I know
from
the triangle,
up it narrows down.
Down.
And I always use that to illustrate to final year students, especially when I go to the state universities to lecture.
Okay.
I tell them that the employment market it's like that triangle. At the base, you see a lot of people, and as you climb upwards, you see that the number of people with higher certificates are reducing.
Yeah.
So as you move, sometimes you have seen students that I tell them in my final year, level 400, that look, when you finish, just stay in your room, enroll for a postgraduate program, and you'll be shocked that by the time you go to for any interview, there will be very few of you. And most of those of them that have taken that advice, they always end up getting employed. So we encourage people that when you graduate, why not spend some little more time, spend the 1 year, do coursework. By the second year, you start hunting for employment. You will discover that you have an edge over the so many people who are at the base.
The thousands who
are at the base. As you go up, you discover that the number of people with higher qualification narrows. This is always my illustration to a lot of young graduates. And I keep telling them that go in for programs that are hands-on oriented. It is what your hands can do. It is what you can do that puts food on the table. It is not the paper
It's not the paper.
It's not the paper. It is what you can do.
There are so many others out there with the papers.
Yes.
Even if you go for the interviews, they ask you, okay, you go on a probation period. Let's see what you can do.
Yes. Recently, I did an interview at JSF Polytechnic. Wanted to get some support staff. And we gave some programs, okay, do this on Excel, do this on that. There was a guy who shot about 97 on 100. You know, he has a BSc, but we were not looking for BSc. We're looking for somebody who can do all the spreadsheet, who can do some things for us. So immediately they put it to him with less than 30 minutes. He got all, yes.
He got it.
So with that, you don't even need to struggle. That's what we're saying, that you need to do things that can help you put food on the table. It is not about the BSc, it is not about the MSc, it's not about the PhD.
It's the skills.
I'm not in any way undermining certificates, but we are saying that what can put food on your table is your ability to speak on this microphone and let people applaud what you are doing.
True.
You can have BSc in journalism, but you cannot be able to manage this place that in such a way that they know that, okay, this is a trained journalist.
True.
So that's what these days we continue to insist that young Cameroonians should go into it. Some of the programs that we run, there's a sector which I really think that we need to work on. If you go to the Dubai, the United Arab Emirates, the tourism is actually what has made that what it is. So we have an MBA in tourism and hospitality management. We encourage a lot of people to go into that because it's another emerging area. You know, when people look for money,
does it really have markets in Cameroon? Is there really?
It does. It does. You know, when people work money, they want to look for where to relax.
True.
When you have money, you know, everybody, you want to have a place. After talking like this, you want to have a place to have a cool head. You want a restaurant where you have some good food.
True.
And at an affordable price. So you want
nice.
people who know the combination of the food. It's not the one the so-called mami put. Mami put, that one by the roadside. No, they mix beans because you grow up and somebody said, okay, you put beans on the fire, you put that. No, we want people that know that, okay, early morning like this, you don't need a bowl of fufu corn. You need something light for the tummy. That people that know the nutritional content. That is why certificates are sometimes important. And that's why we match that with a well-equipped lab to be able to get it right up to the master's degree. When we talk about the food processing, you know that, okay, a good glass of juice early morning. Like somebody gave one when I went for a workout, I came back, somebody gave me a glass of juice. I was so excited. I had to dash down my little daughter an extra 100 francs because I came when it was just ready. You know, it makes you feel you are a bit alert early morning. That's why you see us stay in this path, because some people feel that anybody can make a restaurant. No.
You find terrible restaurants in the streets of Moliko. People are cooking mess. There are so many of them out there. Like, you mustn't cook. Some of them don't even have the first of all, the training is important. The hygiene is important. Sanitation is important. All of these things put together, and that is why we find so many of them scattered all over Moliko. I think someone listening to us, watching us this morning, should know that it's very, very important to go through the training.
No, it does, and it helps. Even when you cook, you should know what are you cooking. What is the nutritional content? What is the nutritional content of what you are cooking? Is it just anything that you want to cook? You know, these days, as we get to the world of the employment, many people want to rely on fast food.
True.
Right? Many people want to rely on fast food. That's why you see, people want to. The combination of this food is very, very important. And you see us trying to carve out a niche for ourselves. We do that at HND. We do that at the top of degree. We are now at the master's level, because we feel that some of these sectors is what is actually making the market. No matter what, no matter how poor you are, you want to eat good food.
True.
No matter how poor you are, you want to dress well.
True. Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
That's a lot that has been going on as far as that, as far as JSF Polytechnic is concerned. I'm overwhelmed to tell you everything, all in one package: the skills, the practicals, the certificates, and even the home training, because I literally feel like some that should be added in the curriculum as well. Away from JSF Polytechnic, we are going to be talking about the Golden Awards coming up.
Yes, the Golden Award is coming up, and JSF as one of the laureates in the domain of well-equipped lab in the fashion, in the home economics, which is that bakery and food processing aspect, then fashion, clothing, and textile. And it's important. Sometimes when we saw it, we were highly humbled. When they send that to me, we're highly humbled, because sometimes when you are doing things, you may not know that the society is seeing.
Yeah, somebody's
watching. You may not know that the
watching.
society is seeing. Last year we got an award on one of those hands-on oriented higher institution of learning. This year we have been singled out in the domain of home economics and in the domain of fashion, clothing, and textile in terms of laboratories. So I feel that it's really very humbling to us to have that, because when we JSF we did that investment, we actually thought that, these are fields that when you go to secondary school, you see very few children.
True.
I remember I visited one of the government technical high schools some 2 years back, a very big one within Fako here, and I was shocked to see 2 students in fashion department in opposite. So if you are looking for money, you will definitely not go to such a sector, because you will not come and equip a lab and all of that, because you can't really feel that you get a lot of money out of it, because these days people want programs that have a lot of students. They can be able to fight the market and get
influx of students and all of that.
But again, maybe God directed us, and today we see when that award comes, it just reminds us that there is nothing that hides under the sun.
Nothing.
The society is seeing what you are doing, because like I said before, sometimes you see very few students in such programs. So if you are an investor who is targeting more of money, you will definitely not go into that. Even after independence, you discover that such programs have really not grown so much in the secondary schools.
True.
Because people looked at it. People used to look at it as those
like the food and nutrition. I don't think
yes,
it even
they thought they were meant for those students. Or the sewing, they say okay, anybody can go and do sewing. But from what I've come to discover, it goes just beyond sewing.
It goes beyond
sewing.
Goes beyond it. And yes, it goes beyond it. And so, talking about the award, like you said, you've already expressed how you feel about the award. So how beneficial do you think this award is going to be to JSF Polytechnic? What does the future looks like as far as the award is concerned?
I think it definitely paints a very bright future for the institution, because that is a lens that has been zoomed on JSF, trying to expose what we are doing. Because sometimes when I come and sit here and I talk about it, some people begin to feel that okay, that is what other rectors or other administrators in the various private universities come to say. But when we see independent thinkers, I will call them independent thinkers because they are not compared to expose that at JSF Polytechnic. When they start wherever they start, and they know that we have a lab, and they have decided to give an award for it. Is there somebody giving you a pat on the back to say, "Oh, well done, you are doing well"? So we feel that it is trying to let the world know what we are doing, our own little contribution to the growth of this wonderful economy, Cameroon.
Wow. And it's going to not just put JSF Polytechnic out there, but it's going to serve as a lesson to others to know that no matter what you're doing, someone out there is watching, and that is to tell you that keep on putting the effort and do much more than you can do. Increase the determination, increase the sacrifice, increase the push, increase all the other aspects that you can increase to make sure that that goes on well. So I think we are going to be separating right now. But before we do, I just ask you a little bit about our topic of discussion. So I don't know if you're a lover of sports. How was your weekend concerning the Francis Gano and Fury match?
I must be very sincere with you. I didn't follow the match, but I think I've been seeing a lot on the social media, a lot of write-ups and all of that. And like any other patriotic Cameroonian, you expect that I will support Ngano. I will definitely be a silent fan to Ngano, because it's important to support your own.
True,
it's
very
important
very
to support
important.
your own.
Very
and I continue to appreciate his efforts. Anything, like the Englishman says, worth doing is worth doing it well. I think he has made us Cameroon proud.
True.
He has made, despite the challenges, he continues to make us proud, because I see that being his image being put on people's status, which means that it's some kind of recognition.
True.
Which I really appreciate that. Really appreciate that.
Okay, thank you once more for coming, and congratulations once more on the award.
You're welcome.
I'm sure we are going to be seeing each other as far as the time goes by before the award. Congratulations once more.
Thank you very much.
Okay, and yes, we will be taking leave of JSF Polytechnic, and before we do that, hey, our topic of discussion is still right there on the screen. Make sure you send us a message this morning. Tell us where you're watching us from, and yes, we will be very 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 happy to greet you this morning. And just so before we take leave of you, talking about skills and talking about what can put food on the table, we're going to be meeting this woman who has decided to carve a niche for herself, not just a niche but also put food on her table just from the sales of Gary. It's quite amazing, as we find out in this video coming up.
Called Miss Buea Magdalene. I started this business in 1999. Yeah, I've been there since 1999 up to this moment. It has helped me a lot to bring up my children, to take care of my house. I have 4 biological children and 2 step children. Yes, so I have 6 children. For now, the market is too slow because the prices are too high. Yes, before I used to sell, like, if I say the market is not good, I will sell like 7 basins a day. But for quite some time, I think as this crisis started, the market has been too slow. Yes, if I sell like a basin or 2 a day, it means I've done it a lot. At times I'll not even sell up to 1 basin. Yeah, that's how the market has been functioning all this while. I've faced a lot of difficulties, mostly during this crisis, because I usually buy Gary and plantain. I think is it 2018. They almost burned the car that carried my goods. So the driver struggled and sent it inside the water. The plantains, they all got rotten inside the water in a corner. Then they called us, we went there to go that we should go and see. Bullet almost took us away in a corner. So even in Malende, At times you reach like that, bullet everywhere. We are running to hide from one place to another. Yes. So it has been very rough. But I thank God He's taking care. He's protecting me all this while. Yes. I cannot say red or white because there are days you have the customers who like white. At other days you have the customers who like red. It's just a balanced business. Yes, it's just a balanced business. At times I can sell 30, 40,000. Yes. At times even 60, depending how the customers will come. Yeah. It's just that when we came to Buea, formerly where we were, I was frying. I fried puff and gateau. But when we came here, I thought of what to do. My first market, I went to Penamoko and bought a goosey. I came, I measured it. I had no franc on top of it. So I just packed the goosey one week. Then I went again the following week in Moyoka and started with Gbamu. Yes. I said, Bob, yes, if somebody needs a basin or 2 or 3, I supply. I usually give it well.